2026 hot or flop. Today I'm going to be going through upcoming releases and talking about whether I think the film is going to be good or whether I think the film is going to be bad. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about box office success here, just whether I think the film is going to be a thumbs up for me or a thumbs down. First up, a release I'm very excited for. I'm talking about Denis Villeneuve's new installment in the Dune series, Dune Part 3, aka Dune Messiah. Now, I think this film's going to be hot purely based on the fact that we've got Denis Villeneuve behind the camera. He's a brilliant director, not just for the Dune films, but across all of his filmography so far. It's going to be very challenging adapting the source material of Dune Messiah. But if there's anyone who I trust to do that, it's Denis Villeneuve. And my first flop prediction, it's Spider-Man Brand New Day. My reason for this is that I just feel like that phase of the Marvel franchise is a bit played out now. Now, I've got to say, I'm not a die-hard Marvel fan, but for me, I think we've seen the best that series has to offer, and I think it's time they tried something fresh. Another film that I'm less certain of, but I think could be hot, I've got a prop for this again, it's Project Hail Mary. Now, I don't think this is guaranteed to be a good film, but I've got my fingers crossed and I do have quite high hopes. I love the source material for this, and even if they can just capture an ounce of that excitement, the adventure, that sci-fi epicness, then I think we're really in for a treat here. Unfortunately, I'm going to seem a bit like a hater here, but another flop for 2026, I think it's going to be Avengers Doomsday. A couple of years ago when it was announced that Robert Downey Jr. was coming back for this, the fans went wild, but that was at the start of the Marvel multiverse phase. And I think since then, we've had a few films that have just tried to exploit this, and it just hasn't worked. I promise, I'm not a hater of the Marvel series, but unfortunately, I just can't see this being a good film for me. And lastly, a hot film that we've got to look forward to. I'm talking about Emerald Fennell's Wuthering Heights. Now, I think this has got potential to be something special. I think the pairing is fantastic here. I love Jacob Elordi, I love Margot Robbie, and as controversial as it is, I'm in the camp that thought Saltburn was a good film. So I'm very excited to see what Emerald Fennell has in store for us next. And what better way to do this than with a Charlie XCX soundtrack underpinning it. Let me know your thoughts on all of these takes and what 2026 releases you think are going to be hot and what films you think are going to be a flop.